Well, hello there. My name is Lane, and welcome back to another episode of Redstone 101.
Speaks, it's all the things you never show.
Alright, in today's episode of Redstone 101, we are going to be looking at doors. So we're going to be starting with the most basic idea of a redstone door, and we're going to be just constantly, graduating up to a more complicated one like this 3x3 piston door here. So we're going to go ahead and start down here with number one, which is just going to be a basic door, I guess. All you really need are going to be pressure plates and a door. Essentially, you place down a door, you put down the pressure plate in front of it and behind it, you step on it, it opens it, and then it'll close right behind you, and it will just forever and always do that. There's really nothing to explain about it. This basically just kind of powers the blocks that powers the door, and that's basically all there is to that. There's nothing super fancy or complicated about it. It's pretty common, and it honestly, if you've played with people before, this is probably something you have definitely seen around in other people's worlds. And yeah, just something super convenient to have around in your own builds. Alright, so on to design number two here, and essentially we've just got a set of double doors. And when you stand on one pressure plate, it opens both of them and you can walk through and they will eventually close, and the same will happen on the opposite end. It is super easy and it is super compact, and it is something that you could definitely hide within your own bases. So let's go ahead and take a look at how it works. Alright, and these are the materials that you will need to get started with this. I'm just going to go ahead and grab some building blocks. I might as well go ahead and grab those as well. Alright, you're going to want to start with your doors already made right there in front of you, and then you're just going to clear out a little bit of space underneath there. You're going to want to leave some solid blocks just down the center of it like this, and you're going to want to put repeaters on the ends of it, so the two doors will be in between the two repeaters, and then you're going to want to just connect those up with dust like that. And then you're going to want to do the same thing on the opposite end like so. And once that is done, you will remove these two inner blocks like this, put redstone dust on top of them, and then you're going to want to just fill in the floor like this. And once the floor is filled in, you'll put pressure plates up above the redstone dust. And then when you stand on one, they should both open like that. And then they should do the same on the opposite end as well. That's all there is to it. So the basic explanation for it is that the pressure plates power the dust, which powers the repeater, which powers this here redstone dust, which then powers the block underneath the doors, powering the doors. And because it's connected to both sides, it powers both doors. And essentially, it happens the exact same way, just mirrored on the other side. It's all just connected to the center redstone dust. This right here is probably the most important part of the entire thing. And the next one is going to be just a little bit more complicated than the previous one, and this is going to be just a 2x2 piston door that just pulls out and retracts like that. There is just a little bit more redstone involved, and it is going to take a little bit more effort to hide, but it shouldn't be that big of a problem. And the resources that you will need are in my inventory right now. Just pause the video if you need to get a screenshot or something of that. Alright, so this is an example of the 2x2 door, and this has no redstone connected just yet. I'm going to show you how to do all of that. So basically you're going to build up the wall that you want and just make it look the way you want it to. And then behind it, behind the actual outer edge of the door itself, you're going to want to have a redstone torch on both ends. And then you're going to want to have sticky pistons facing inwards like so. And you're going to want that on both sides over here, along with solid blocks on top of the redstone torches themselves, just to spread that power up and to that top piston like so. There's also going to be redstone dust directly underneath the block that has got the torch. So the torch is right here, and the dust is going to be just one block diagonal of that. So around the back side of it, against the block that is holding the redstone torch, you're going to place 2 blocks of redstone dust, and then bring it down by 1 block in the center like this. Should stretch for about 4 blocks. And then you're going to want to bring it up by another 2, and basically just connect it up like this. And then over here towards the center, dig out another 2 right here, and basically just add 2 more dust right here. And then bring your floor out like this. And then you're going to put pressure plates above that redstone dust right there. And you're going to do the same over here, right here in front of the door itself. So here, when you step on the pressure plates, they will open. And then on the other end, when you step on them, they will also open from the other end. It is up to you how you want to hide all of this mess. It is definitely going to be a bit more of a challenge. That is why I recommend doing something a bit like this, or like on the example one from earlier, I did a design kind of like this, which I think looked pretty cool. But again, it'll just kind of be up to you and how you interpret the build. Shouldn't be too bad. Just one thing to pay attention to is making sure you don't put a block right here in front of this hole right here. Because if you place the block right there, you'll see that the redstone dust no longer connects up to the one that is down there. And that will stop this side from working, and you don't need that. You need the entire thing working. So what I recommend is just placing blocks right here in front of the pistons itself, like this. It also actually kind of makes the build look a little bit better, especially when you add a little bit more color to it. And basically, it just kind of adds a little bit more depth to it. This isn't build school, but you know, just my 2 cents on it. Anyway, I think it is a pretty cool thing and should be easy enough to hide. So enough rambling, time to get to the next one. Alright, so the final door that I'm going to be showing in today's video is going to be the 3x3 piston door right here. So essentially what will happen is you'll walk up, you'll flick a lever, and it'll either close it or it will open it. And that's basically all there is to it. This is going to be just one giant mess. I know how complicated this looks, and I'm going to level with you. I don't really know how to explain this working, but basically the observers and everything, they just kind of pass around a signal in a circular motion, making the pistons and everything operate in that way. And it's, well, that's basically just it, I guess. I don't really know how to explain how it works, but I just know it does. So let's go ahead and grab some of the resources and go ahead and get started. So unlike the last ones over there, you are just going to want to start with a big hole rather than the actual door itself. So you're going to want to make a 3x7 hole and have it 3 blocks deep like this. And then you're going to start by placing down blocks in this exact order. You're going to have a dispenser, and then another dispenser 1 block away from it, and an observer in between it facing inwards like this. You'll see the arrow is facing in this way here. And then you're going to want a solid block on the other end of that, and then another observer also facing inwards like this. You are then going to want to put in 2 solid blocks right there beside it, and then a piston facing downwards, just a regular piston here. And then you're going to want to put 2 sticky pistons facing upwards right beside it, along with an observer facing inwards towards that there sticky piston, and then 2 more observers facing up. You'll know that you're doing it right because this might make a sound like that. And then you're going to want to put a sticky piston on top of that observer, and a solid block right there on top of that and behind it. And then 3 more sticky pistons facing inwards like so, a solid block on top, and then a single piece of redstone dust there. Once you've made it about this far, you're then going to want to place a solid block on top of the piston, along with a piece of redstone dust right beside it, and then a temporary block right here above that other solid block. And then you're going to want to place an observer with the butt end of it facing down towards this redstone dust. And then you're going to want 2 pistons on top of each other like that, the sticky pistons. And then after that, you're going to want to get a dispenser and put that on top of there, along with another piece of redstone dust on top of that. And this is what it should look like right now. Alright, and if you followed all the instructions correctly, it should be working up until now. From here, you're going to be placing a observer right here facing this direction, and then 2 more on top of it like so. You're then going to want to take a solid block and put it on top of that redstone dust. Then you're going to want to place 2 sticky pistons exactly where I have them here. So you're just going to want to shift click them against the repeater and right there in front of the observer. And then you're going to want another observer facing inwards like that. And then you're just going to want to fill in these blocks right here with the redstone dust. This one should already have redstone dust. I just accidentally broke it. But you're just going to want it to make this shape here. and then you will take whatever block you want to be the door. In this case, I'm going to use blocks of iron, and you're going to want to put them in these exact spots. I've got them in front of those 3 pistons, then I'm going to put them in front of these 3 pistons, and then in these 3 spots, and then right there. And once you've got all of the blocks in place like that, you're going to want to put a lever on this block right here beside the repeaters and above the redstone dust. And when you do that, you'll flick it and it will close the door. And then you open it back up by, well, flicking it again. And that's basically how that works. So essentially, it's a bit more complicated for me to explain how this works. But essentially, the repeaters and the dust and the observers are all passing around a signal, and they are all timed to just kind of go in that circular direction like that. And they basically are all just timed specifically so they will all move in and outwards like they should. Alright, I think that just about does it for today's episode. If you enjoyed today's episode, please show your support by liking the video and comment down below letting me know what you guys look forward to seeing next and what you guys want to see more of. And subscribe to the channel if you are new, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future content. My name is Elaine, and I will see you guys next time.